Hi everybody, so today I wanted to show you an easy way to put in the NTR Plait Booster into your plaits if you've got a horse with a rubbed out section of mane or a very thin mane. So this horse has a very thin mane here. It got rubbed out many years ago underneath and has never grown back. Otherwise you can, and it doesn't really matter the length as well, you can have not very much hair but a bit longer, you can have it quite short. As long as you've got short enough, you've got enough mane to sort of do a couple of plait sections or plait movements to secure it in, that's all you need. So I have got 2 lengths of NTR Plait Booster here. So in Hondi today, he's a medium to dark chestnut. I'm using dark chestnut. So what I'm going to do now, so I've got 2 thicknesses, this is just as it's come straight off the bundle. So I'm going to take a little bit of hair off this one and add it into the full one. So now I've got this one that's a bit thinner and this one that's a fair bit thicker. So this one, the thin one, is about half the thickness. So what I'm going to do, a bit windy here today, fold it over the center. So fold the thin one over the center of the thick one. So now I've got this doubled over, so this is actually now about the same thickness as these are here. So you can just use it exactly like this, or if it's your preference, you can tie a little knot here. Now I like to sort of do these as I go. I tend not to pre-prepare them because sometimes I find a little bit further up the neck here, I might not need to add in quite so much hair, but if you get to a really thin bit, you might need to add in a bit more. So that way I can adjust them to suit whichever sort of thickness of mane to match my horse's natural mane and where it's rubbed out. So I've just tied a knot like that. So that's tied in. So now those 2 sections come together to be my centerpiece, and then there are the 2 thicker pieces on each side to make my 3 pieces. So I'm just going to set that aside for now while we get the mane ready to plait. So I like to work with damp hair, so a little bit of water to dampen it. Find it easier to get a neater result if I dampen the hair first. And then what I'm going to do is I like to use a little bit of product when I plait. So I'm going to use my smooth braids, which is a gel spray, just a little bit on the hair. And then just to control the little flyaways and all the bits that you get at the top here, I'm going to use a hair wax. I'm using my sculpting stick. You don't have to use these products, guys. Use whatever you've got, whatever you love. Nothing wrong. They all do a very similar job. So I'm just going to comb that in and work the hair, get it ready. So now it depends now how you like to section your hair, your mane for plaiting, as to how the easiest way that you'll find to do this. So the way I do it, because I section from underneath with my fingers, so I get the plait booster in my fingers first. So I have them in the 3 groups. Excuse the filth of my fingers, guys, I've just been riding. So I've now got the 3 sections of hair underneath in my fingers. So I'm now going to come in up underneath like this and section. So as you can see now, I have a section of natural mane and a section of plait booster in each of the 3 sections between my fingers. So I'm just going to adjust that nice and tight. Hondi, don't move away now. That's a bit difficult. And then what I'm going to use is a little set of clamps. So these are my NTR Quick Clamps. I'm going to use them to sort of push the mane right up so it's nice and firm against the crest like that. And then I'm going to use the clamp, so you just undo them like this and pop your little clamp in. So the clamp is clamping the hair and the plait booster together in the one. So now that's holding it nice and tight for me, I can just do my plait normally like this and plait down. Now you can leave your clamps there the whole time you plait. If you want to take them out once you get started, you can do that, so it's up to you. So you can take those out like that, and to take them out you just give them a little twist like that to unclip them. Slide them out, pop them away. So now I'm just going to plait down the rest of my plait here like that. Down like that, and then grab a plaiting band to secure the end off. Just like that. Okay, so now we've plaited down. Now if your horse's mane is the right length for plaiting and you don't want to shorten it, you don't need to. What you can do now is sort of find the hairs and separate them out. Otherwise you can fold it over. My horse's mane is quite thin and it's actually a little bit long for plaiting, so I'm just going to trim the ends off. So grab your scissors and trim off the plait booster in the ends. Now when you cut your plait booster, what you'll notice is that it kind of spreads out a little bit like that. So what I do, if you're going to try and sew that in, you'll find it a bit hard to hide that and disguise that in the base of your plait. So I just grab my scissors and cut on a bit of an angle in towards your band like that. So now it's sort of angled in, it's a little bit tidier, neater and tidier, so it's a little bit easier to disguise as you sew them in. So to sew them in, exactly the same now as I would sew in a normal rosette. I just grab my needle and thread. I don't bother to tie any knots in them. Pick the plait up, needle down towards you, around and around the other way. So now that's actually super secure, as you can see, with no knot, so you don't actually need to top a knot. So now needle through the base like that. Oh, Hondi, come back here, hang on a minute, make sure everybody can see. So needle through the base like that. So now that my plait is folded in half, now I'm going to fold it in half again, and that is my rosette. So now I'm just going to sew backwards and forwards, front to back, through the base of my plait, the very bottom there like that, and I just hold it in its shape with my thumb and my fingers on my right hand, because I'm left-handed. Feel free to switch them over if you're different-handed. Just going to sew backwards and forwards a couple of times like that until you're happy with it being nice and secure, and grab your scissors and trim it off. And that is how easy it is to boost a plait with the plait booster and get it in nice and easily. Now if you don't want to sew your plaits in and you would prefer to do banded plaits, you can do my lackey plaits or banded plaits method, exactly the same. So you do the same steps, you pop your plait booster in, plait it down, put your band on, and instead of sewing it, you just do the banded plait method instead. Thanks guys, hope that helps.